Hello and welcome to the Leicester International Museum and Art Gallery, to our Leicester International Music Festival lunchtime series in association with the Countess of Munster Musical Trust and their concert group of artists that they choose from their incredible people they support with awards for further study instruments. I'm Nicholas Daniel and I'm the artistic director of both the lunchtime series and the festival. And I'm so pleased to welcome today Iyad Sughayer, and it's wonderful to have you here, and thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
For braving the public transport and with a mask.
Yeah.
It's great to welcome you here, and it's wonderful to have you play our beautiful piano.
Thank you.
So how has the time been for you the last year? Has it been okay, or has it been miserable, or how has it been?
We tried to stay positive. I think it was, good days, bad days. I'm luckily quite a busy teacher, so that kept me going.
Yeah. Did you do that on Zoom?
I did, yeah, and now we're back face to face, thank God.
Yeah.
But it was, at the beginning of the lockdown, it was quite...
It was what it was. I mean, it was great to have the contact.
I enjoyed it right at the beginning, unfortunately,
Yeah.
sorry to say that. It was nice to have a few weeks off.
Lucky students having you as a teacher, my goodness. I mean,
very sweet.
if they heard you demonstrate, they might want to give up rather quickly, I think. So don't demonstrate too much. No, I don't mean it. That's great. But the program you've got for us is really, really interesting. You're starting with a wonderfully atmospheric piece by El Khoury. Tell us about this composer.
Bshara El Khoury is a Lebanese composer. He's French Lebanese. I actually came across his music by complete coincidence when I was at Chetham's when I was a student, and my piano teacher, she thought, I saw this composer. And
who was your piano teacher then?
Back then it was Mary Louise Taylor.
Oh yeah, right.
And she's a lovely, lovely lady who found the score, and then she said to me, you might like this. And I sort of just had it on the shelf for a while.
Yeah.
And then I sort of, as I got older, I got to know a little bit more of his music and been in touch with him as well. He's a lovely man.
Oh, really?
He's a very, very nice man.
Where's he living?
In Paris. Actually,
in Paris,
yeah.
right.
We've been in touch on things like Facebook.
That's so nice, yeah.
I've decided to include some of his music in the next season just because and I thought it would be nice to actually start the recital with it because it's really...
It's not a composer I've heard much of, but I'm really aware of his name. But
Yeah.
I think it's wonderful to habilitate him to British ears, and I'm sure people will love that piece. It sounds, it's obviously got a French slant to it, but it almost sounds like Copland in some ways. It's very descriptive and beautiful. I really liked it. And then you're playing Beethoven Tempest Sonata. So it's great to have some Beethoven because I kind of deliberately avoided doing Beethoven year because everybody else was, and then the whole thing got cancelled anyway. So it's good to kind of rehabilitate ourselves and our audience a little bit with the Beethoven, but it's such a puzzlement to me, that sonata. It's an absolutely magisterial piece and it has great end direction. But tell us and tell the audience your kind of take on it. How do you visualize it? The poetry of your performance is incredibly memorable, but just tell us how you're thinking about it.
I don't think about it.
That's not true.
It is one of my favorite sonatas,
Yeah.
and of course, I love Beethoven, and it is, like I say, a very interesting sonata. I love the opening of it. I love the sort of it goes into different sections.
It's sort of unresolved, isn't it? In a way, the first movement.
It makes you uneasy.
Yeah.
It's a great piece. It has some peace. It has some. Some manic moments and so on, and I just love playing it. The second movement, of course, is just a lovely
aria, isn't it?
It is.
Yes,
it is.
I love the way that because all of those sort of rolled chords in the first one are always so disturbing because they're never on the tonic, and they kind of. Some people describe them as being dominant. Chords because the most present note is on the dominant of D minor at the beginning, for instance. But actually, it's a first inversion tonic chord, and so that means is if you've got an A at the bottom, you've got a C sharp. First inversion of the dominant, but it's basically dominant harmony. So you never sit down at all until the beginning of the second movement, and then that first chord just makes you go. And it was so notable. It's so notable in how you play it that you sit down into that moment. The third movement is extraordinary, isn't it?
It's a joy to play. This whole sonata I've played it for quite some time, and I left it for so many years, and I got back to it in lockdown.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, for a
because-
Beethoven festival.
Oh, really? Online festival. Yeah.
And then I just, it's sort of just when I was asked, would you like to take part, and it was one of the very few sonatas left on the list.
Oh, really?
And I
Because
thought,
people are scared because it's so famous.
No,
yeah.
I don't know.
No, but people
It's just
probably have
lucky.
left it like you did. They're
So-
sort of, yeah.
As soon as I saw it, I thought, oh, I'd like to revisit this. And then practicing it, I just thought, I should probably play this again. It's a lovely sonata. And in today's program, I thought, since the sonata's sandwiched into lesser known works, I thought it's nice to, I hate the word cleanse the ears, but
No, I totally
but
agree with you.
to sort of provide some sort of familiarity.
Well, it's that, and also it's just like a really substantial. It's also somehow a philosophical piece,
Yeah.
isn't it? In a way, I mean, I'm not completely convinced about it being about a Sturm. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't really buy that entirely, but I think there is possibly a Shakespearean element to it. But
Yeah,
one just doesn't quite know.
Yeah.
But I'm so pleased you played it. It was fantastic with all this art, much of which is from the same period. To look around while you're playing and think about it. You've been responsible, I think, a little bit for a sort of single-handed revival in the music of Khachaturian on the concert stage. I mean, that's a very clever thing to do because pianists always plays music, and they and I mean when you're studying,
They only played that one piece.
that one piece,
Yeah.
well, the toccata.
I did that myself.
Yeah, but actually you are now, I gather, recording the complete Khachaturian music.
We've just. I did the first CD that came out just before lockdown, and I got away with it, and it was. And thankfully,
You're too modest.
And then thankfully, I got asked to do to follow on with the project. But it's funny you say this because actually, just yesterday, I put a video on Facebook of playing some Khachaturian, and one of the comments said, "My gosh, do you play anything else?"
Oh Lord!
No, I mean it doesn't matter. It's just a friend, but it is music that. When people hear Khachaturian, they always assume the ballets or just the violin concerto, not anymore the piano concerto, because that's very rarely played as well nowadays. I mean, it used to be a party piece back in the day.
Yes, of course, yeah.
But it's I've never heard it live.
No, it's funny how
played
things
this
go
one.
in and out of fashion, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's a great piece.
But I think it's. I mean, it's very clear you play many things, but I think your friend was being a little bit naughty, slightly disingenuous. And don't worry about that because it'll be fantastic to have that body of work to listen to the piano music of that composer in total insgesamt.
Yeah.
That'd be really great. Well, I just want to thank you for
Thank you for
coming,
having
and
me.
it's such a joy to have you play in here for us, and I want you please to come back to
with
us
pleasure.
And play for our audience live. We'd absolutely
Thank
love
you.
that when we're able to do it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.